What really happened between Meghan Markle and Rory McIlroy?
Meghan Markle once let Rory McIlroy pour a bucket of ice water over her head.
Meghan was intimate with him. She was on the hunt.
And it wasn't just for charity. That moment, recorded on video in 2014, has become something of a time capsule. Because before she landed Prince Harry, before the palace, before the press wars and podcasts, Meghan was out there making moves.
I thought it seemed fitting that the person who nominated me would be the one to dump the ice on me, so... Hi. I challenge Serena Williams to do the ALS ice bucket as well. Okay, shall we?
Ready?
Yes.
The video looks innocent enough. Meghan, dressed casually, stands on a rooftop while Rory does the honors. It was part of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which had gone viral that summer. But the chemistry between them didn't go unnoticed. From the way she laughed to the way he smiled, it didn't look like a one-time favor.
Got it? Yeah.
Got it. Ready?
Yeah. One, two, three.
Here's the setup. Rory had just come off a very public breakup with tennis star Caroline Wozniacki and was riding high after winning his 27th PGA title. He nominated Meghan to take the Ice Bucket Challenge, and she agreed, but only if he delivered the icy splash in person. He flew to New York, met her at a friend's apartment, and dumped the water himself. The video went online and started buzzing, not just for the cold water, but for how warm they looked together. Meghan posted it to her Vimeo account, but that wasn't the end of the story. Later that same day, Rory and Meghan were seen having drinks at the Fitzpatrick Hotel in Manhattan. The hotel's owner, who happened to be a fan of Suits, even recalled spotting them. Later that evening, they joined a larger dinner party at Cipriani with about 18 other guests, and while the group setting might seem casual, the timing was anything but.
Before she married Prince Harry, Meghan Markle typically kept her private life out of the spotlight and even enforced a social media ban at her first wedding to Trevor Engelson. Shortly after her 2014 divorce from the producer, however, a rumored romance between Meghan and Rory McIlroy quickly captured the interest of her fans.
The next morning, Rory traveled 30 miles to compete in a golf tournament. He played badly, really badly, dropped all the way down to 101st place. He later admitted he hadn't exactly been focused, saying he'd been too busy enjoying himself the night before. After the tournament wrapped, he didn't go home. He drove straight back to New York to see Meghan again. At that point, people started asking questions. Were they just friends? Was this something more? Meghan added fuel to the fire when she wrote about Rory on her now-deleted lifestyle blog, The Tig. In the post, she called him the real deal, praised his work ethic, and talked about his love for family, fans, and fine wine. She even described him as cherished. The tone was unmistakably affectionate. So, while nothing was ever confirmed, the signs pointed to more than just friendly vibes. Meghan wasn't single, and this night with Rory may have raised more than just eyebrows.
I believe Meghan, when it goes back to everything you've just discussed, I believe the reason why she hid her wedding publicly to Trevor Engelson was simply because if it became public and a lot of it was out there, that when she's hunting down various men, it would be a lot harder to hide the fact that she's actually married to another man.
The boyfriend she had at the time? He wasn't thrilled. Meghan Markle wasn't exactly unattached when she filmed that flirty rooftop video with Rory McIlroy. Back then, she was dating Canadian celebrity chef Corey Vitiello, and things were serious. They lived together, shared dogs, and moved in the same upscale circles in Toronto. So when Meghan showed up in New York, laughing under a bucket of water with a newly single golf star, eyebrows raised, and not just from the public. According to royal biographer Tom Bauer, Corey found out about Meghan's dinner with Rory and didn't stay quiet about it. He confronted her directly. Reports claim he demanded to know if she had cheated. Her response was quick, absolutely not. She insisted it was a friendly dinner, nothing more. But here's the part that stuck with people.
This was a red flag for Corey. She obviously talked her way out of it. And then again, my personal belief, she cheated on Corey with Harry. She was constantly looking for the next stepping stone.
Meghan hadn't just accepted Rory's nomination for the Ice Bucket Challenge. She set conditions. She would only do it if he personally showed up to pour the water over her head. Not over video, not by proxy, in person. And he did. Shortly after the night they spent out together, Meghan wrote about Rory on The Tig, her personal lifestyle blog. The post didn't read like a thank you to a charity collaborator. It sounded more like something you'd write about someone you were genuinely smitten with. She described Rory as a force, praised by golf legends like Tiger Woods and Arnold, Palmer, and highlighted how seriously he took both work and play. She even detailed their shared dinner at Cipriani, his choice of wine, and his ability to balance fun with focus. But what stood out most wasn't the golf or the food. It was the way she talked about his character.
And this was the perfect opportunity to get him to pour the ice bucket over her. And you can tell she's got that giggly schoolgirl front on. The fact that they went out for dinner and then they went and met up with each other again, these are not the actions of a woman that is happily attached to her partner who was staying in Canada. You know, this is the actions of a woman on the prowl, on the hunt.
She called him authentic, real, the kind of man who appreciated a simple smile, took fan photos without hesitation, and loved his parents openly. Toward the end of the post, she wrapped it up by calling him cherished. Not talented, not impressive, cherished. And while Meghan denied anything romantic had happened, her words told a different story, one that didn't sit well with Corey, who, according to Bauer, viewed the whole situation as a betrayal. This wasn't the last time Meghan's charm would cause friction in a relationship. The way she moved through connections, friendly or romantic, always seemed to follow the same arc. Introduce yourself, build quick rapport, make it personal, and if things get messy, walk away fast. Rory didn't end up being the one, but he was part of a bigger pattern that was starting to become clear.
But why I think it matters in terms of history is that the blueprint she used, Tash, to ensnare Rory McIlroy was done publicly.
After Rory, Meghan didn't slow down. She started casting her net wider, and the inboxes of British celebrities were lighting up. Once Rory McIlroy faded from Meghan's orbit, she didn't waste time. She shifted her attention to a whole new roster of familiar faces, this time mostly in the UK, athletes, pop stars, TV winners. Her next move wasn't about settling down. It was about reaching farther. And that's when the direct messages started. According to multiple sources, Meghan tried to connect with Ashley Cole, one of England's most well-known footballers. His past was already filled with tabloid drama, but that didn't seem to stop her. UK personality Lizzie Cundy later shared that Meghan asked her for help getting in touch with Ashley. Not casually either. She reportedly wanted to know more about him and whether he was single. The idea wasn't just to meet someone famous. It was to meet someone famous in Britain.
And because Harry has never been the sharpest tool in the shed, you can see how that sort of weird combination of flattery, emotional manipulation, using her sexuality, but at the same time trying to make her victim think that actually this is all for a higher calling.
Meghan had made waves in Toronto and Los Angeles, but the UK was where the opportunity was and the royal family lived. Ashley Cole wasn't the only one on Meghan's radar. Not long after that, she was messaging Max George, the lead singer of British boy band The Wanted. At the time, Max had built a huge fan base and was riding the wave of chart success. Years later, he confirmed that Meghan had reached out. He didn't give much away about what was said, only that they chatted and she made it clear she was interested. Nothing came of it, but Meghan had made her move. She wasn't stopping there. Next in line, Matt Cardle, the surprise winner of The X Factor UK in 2010. Meghan followed him on Instagram, started liking a few of his photos, and then sent a message to strike up a conversation. They exchanged a few texts. The timing was just before she met Prince Harry. And just like that, she disappeared. Matt later explained that he was flattered at first but caught off guard when the conversation ended abruptly. No reason, just silence. With each interaction, the pattern became more obvious. Meghan reached out, opened the door, turned on the charm, and if it didn't lead to something bigger, she was gone.
I mean, you can see that Meghan is a social climber, that I believe the term gold digger can be absolutely applied. She was looking constantly to trade up for the next person, despite having a husband or a long-term live-in lover.
It wasn't messy, it wasn't dramatic, but it was efficient. Ashley, Max, Matt. One by one, they got a taste of her interest, briefly. And while none of those moments evolved into anything long-term, they showed how deliberately she was scanning the scene. Not just for chemistry, for status. Her royal target was already in view, and she wasn't going to miss this one. The next move would be the one that changed everything. By the time Meghan got close to Prince Harry, everything else faded into the background. The flirty messages, the dinner dates, the ice bucket rooftop moment, they all vanished behind the scenes. This time, she wasn't trying to be seen. She was working quietly, moving through the outer layers of Harry's circle until she found the right opening. And once she had it, the door didn't just open. She walked straight through. The playbook hadn't changed. She had used charm, warmth, and just enough mystery to stand out. But with Harry, she dialed it up and kept it low profile. There were no public posts, no playful mentions. This time, she went silent until things were locked in. As soon as her relationship with Harry became serious, the people who'd helped her get there started disappearing from her life. Lizzie Cundy, who once introduced Meghan to parts of the London scene, said she found out about Meghan's royal connection the same way the rest of the world did, from the headlines. She didn't get a call, not even a text. One day, they were friends. The next, she was ghosted. Millie McIntosh, a rising socialite who'd given Meghan access to Britain's inner circles, was also cut off. No drama, no argument, just silence. And Piers Morgan, who Meghan once met, for drinks after they connected online, had a similar story. They exchanged emails, shared a few laughs over cocktails, and then she left the bar, got into a car, and never responded again. According to Piers, that was the night she went to meet Prince Harry for the first time. Each person had played some role in helping Meghan establish herself in the UK, but once she secured Harry's attention, they were no longer needed. The switch happened fast. Meghan, who had once been social, open, and eager to connect, now drew tight circles around herself. She didn't just distance herself, she erased connections entirely. The same way she'd moved on from past flings without looking back, she was now closing the chapter on the people who helped her climb. This wasn't a new version of Meghan, it was the same method applied on a bigger stage. When she entered Rory's world, she blogged. When she reached for boy banders and footballers, she messaged, and now with royalty involved, she shut everything down. Behind every friendly dinner and casual message was a clear goal: move forward, never sideways. Now that she had the prince, what happened to the others she left behind? Where did they end up? And how different did their lives look from Harry's? Once Meghan locked in Prince Harry, everything before him became a blur. But for the men she left behind, life didn't fall apart. In fact, most of them landed on their feet, and then some. Rory McIlroy, who once poured a bucket of ice water over Meghan's head, is now one of the most successful golfers in the world. After their brief public moment in 2014, Rory stayed focused on his career, collected trophies, and eventually earned the title of BBC Sports Personality of the Year. He's engaged, successful, and has avoided any royal drama entirely. Looking at where he is now, it's not hard to imagine him thinking he got out at exactly the right time. Corey Vitiello, the Canadian chef Meghan dated before Harry, also moved on. He's now married, has a family, and runs a well-known restaurant. His life looks stable, quiet, and drama-free. After being blindsided by Meghan's sudden royal leap, he didn't stick around to share the spotlight. He stepped back, and it worked out. Then there's Trevor Engelson, Meghan's first husband. When they divorced in 2014, Meghan was still acting, still hustling, still figuring things out. Trevor was reportedly caught off guard by how quickly she moved on, but today he's remarried, raising a family, and completely removed from royal headlines. No press tours, no public battles, just peace. Even the brief connections tell the same story. Max George from The Wanted admitted that Meghan reached out but nothing happened. Looking back, he didn't sound bitter, just relieved. Matt Cardle, who briefly exchanged messages with her, said the conversation dropped off as fast as it started. One moment she was interested, the next she disappeared. That happened right before she started dating Prince Harry. None of these men were dragged into drama. They didn't face the press, didn't have their families criticized, and didn't end up in documentaries. They all got out clean. While the others moved on with calm lives and clean exits, Harry was the one who stayed. And the difference shows. Before Meghan, Harry was a royal favorite. He had charm, humor, and the public's affection. Since the relationship became his entire identity, everything shifted. Now he's known more for lawsuits, interviews, and complaints than charity work or military service. He traded his role in the royal family for California privacy and public confusion. Meghan left behind a trail of short flings, kind exes, and career wins. The men who didn't make the final cut aren't struggling. If anything, they're thriving. She didn't ruin their lives. She removed herself from them, and that might have been the biggest favor of all. While Meghan's former flings built quiet lives and clean exits, Prince Harry ended up living a very different story. Today, Harry is far from the cheeky royal the world once adored. The fun-loving soldier with a rebellious streak has been replaced by a man seen mostly in lawsuits, interviews, and carefully produced documentaries. He swapped palaces for podcasts, duty for drama, and public favor for personal statements. Back in the day, he was known for surprise visits to charities, supporting veterans, and making headlines for his humor. These days, he shows up in headlines for telling off the press, battling his family, or sharing memories from therapy. And when he does appear in public, at polo matches or rare royal events, he often looks out of place. He doesn't shine the way he once did. That contrast is exactly what makes Rory, Corey, Trevor, and the rest of Meghan's past look lucky. Meghan's pattern over the years has remained consistent. With every relationship, she charmed fast, moved quickly, and left even faster once a better door opened. She started in Canadian social circles with chefs and actors, then came British athletes, singers, and reality stars. And finally, the royal she set her sights on from the moment she stepped into Soho House. Once she got in, the past got cleared out. Friends, exes, supporters, one by one, gone. Meghan didn't drag them through scandals. She just vanished from their lives, like she was never there to begin with. What's striking isn't how many names came and went. It's how identical each exit looks. The question now isn't whether Meghan's strategy worked. It clearly did. She became a duchess, grabbed global attention, and turned her name into a brand. What's left to ask is whether Prince Harry will be the final chapter, or just another stepping stone. Because looking back, each man in Meghan's story brought something she could use: status, access, experience. And once she got what she came for, she kept climbing. And the climb hasn't stopped. From scripted interviews to book deals, fashion partnerships to international speaking gigs, Meghan's still moving, still building, still looking ahead. Which makes people wonder, if something shinier comes along, will Harry be quietly filed under former too? Rory's collecting trophies, Corey's running restaurants, Trevor's raising a family. Max and Matt are doing just fine. Each of them missed out on the drama, the spotlight, and the chaos that followed Meghan and Harry's royal exit. And whether it was timing, luck, or instinct, every single one of them walked away clean. They didn't end up married to a media storm. Harry did. And somewhere out there, one of them might be raising a glass right now, quietly thinking, "Thank God she picked the other guy."